Hi there, I'm Mike, and what I have for you today is Star Wars The Black Series number 51, Finn, First Order Disguise. While I was carrying this to the register at Toys R Us, my friend Ron saw this. He's very wary of spoilers of the new Star Wars movies. When he saw it, he hissed like a vampire seeing a crucifix. I thought about it for a second and said, come on, it's not like Star Wars characters have never been bad guys in a movie before. There's no context here. We know he used to be a stormtrooper. Other than that, all we know is Finn's looking snazzy in a nice First Order uniform. The back of his bio doesn't tell us much more. To carry out a mission crucial to the Resistance, Finn adopts a First Order officer's uniform, going undercover and doing his best to blend in amongst his former ranks. Pretty much exactly what you'd expect of a character you know dressed as a bad guy. I mean, the only other option was, Finn decided to go back to the First Order and the last movie didn't really matter. Ooh, or he was a plant. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that could happen. But nah, let's get him out of the package. Here we have Finn out of the package, and he looks good. First of all, it's just kind of a typical Imperial uniform. Grand Admiral Thrawn, Director Krennic, General Hux, they kind of just have the same kind of body type. He's wearing gloves and boots, so really, other than the head, this guy could be anyone. They could just swap this out for a different, more generic head and just have First Order officer. And they are. Aside from that, from toe to head, he's actually looking pretty good. His boots have a lot of great molding detail. They have a nice glossy finish to make them look shiny and polished. The pants have a lot of nice molded and folded details, and the knee joints are integrated in that pretty seamlessly. It's really good. The shirt comes down below the waist, which does hinder some of the articulation, but we'll get into that later. He's got a lot of molded and painted details in the shirt here, from the pockets to the cuff. I don't know what that means. If you've translated what's on his sleeve, let me know. I'm interested. The face looks like John Boyega, and the hat is removable, which is just kind of neat. They didn't have to. They could have molded the hat right on the head, but they didn't. It's just kind of a fun detail. Although it's probably going to get lost by people with little kids pretty much instantly if they let them play with it. I just don't see any way around it. It comes off too easily. Just a quick note on mine. Mine does have a weird blemish on his cheek. I don't know if he's supposed to have that or not. I didn't notice it until I got home. I wish I'd looked at it a little better, but you know, it was Force Friday, it's midnight, I was in a hurry. I had to snatch them all before someone else did because I'm more important than anybody else. Other than his hat, he does come with a couple other accessories. First is his gun. Now the hand is molded to hold the gun, including the finger, which is pretty neat. He looks pretty good holding it. It also does have a holster on the side, although with the way the skirt and holster are molded, I have a hard time getting the gun in there and looking natural. It just kind of sticks up a little too far and out a little too far. I'm not a fan of what the gun looks like in the holster. Then he's left with this hand in a permanent trigger kind of holding thing, which just kind of looks weird unless you put it behind his back. But then again, you can also put the gun behind his back like he's trying to hide it. He's disguised as a First Order officer. Like, that just seems like something he could do anyway. The other accessory is one that I'm very interested in. He comes with the baton that the TR-8R guy, I don't remember his real name, FN2 something something something, they gave him an official name. But you know, the one the Traitor Riot Trooper guy came with. This one is different though. They did release that Riot Trooper when episode 7 came out in a 2-pack with Poe Dameron of all people. But what's different about this is that was molded open and that was it. That's all it did. This one actually closes, which is actually pretty cool. I'm interested to see if he uses this in the movie. Is he going to have a reunion with that? Are they going to have a fight with these because he doesn't have a lightsaber this time? I don't know. I'm interested to see it, that's for sure. The handle on it is a little big, but it does fit in his offhand pretty well. I definitely like the way it looks. I just wish I had some context for how he's supposed to use it. I mean, I have a pretty good idea, but I want to see it. I'm very interested in seeing it. I think that's enough about the accessories. Let's take a look at the articulation on this figure. Finn's head moves side to side, down this far, up that far. Super good hand articulation. His arm moves out that far and can move all the way around. He has a single jointed elbow and an elbow swivel. He has a wrist swivel and a hinge at the wrist, although the cuff does get in the way of that articulation. Mine has a waist that clicks for some reason. His chest can move back that far and forward that far. His legs are somewhat hindered by the lower parts of his shirt here. They move forward that much, they move back that much. He has an okay spread, I guess. He does have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, ankle hinge, and an ankle rocker, with this being his widest stance with both his feet flat on the ground. So that's it. Pretty standard stuff for a Black Series figure. He doesn't really have anything to write home to mom about. His elbows are good enough. His legs are good enough. He's pretty much just going to stand on my shelf with his arms behind his back, probably like an officer does. I just feel like that's the most natural pose for someone in a uniform like this. They look weird with their hands down to their sides because you can't put them straight down like they're standing at attention. But they do look pretty natural with their arms behind their backs, I guess. I don't know. That's just my preference. I know it's not super original, but it's my collection. So there. All in all, I do like this figure a lot. I wish I had some more context for it, but I do like the character Finn. I already have a connection to him. I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes in episode 8 and how he comes back from his injuries. Obviously, he does, but we don't really have any context for what, how, or why. I mean, I guess why is just because he didn't die and he just kept going. Question answered, I guess. This figure is great. I'm going to give him 4.5 out of 5. The reason I'm not giving him a full 5 is there's just something that's really not wowing me about it. There's no major flaws like with the Praetorian Guard with the arms and things like that. He moves well enough. I just don't have any context for him. This could go up or down depending on the movie, really. I guess he just has a generic body from the neck down, and that's kind of what's bugging me about it. I know he's disguised as a First Order officer, and that's how it's supposed to be, but you head swap him and he could be anyone, and that just kind of seems lazy other than the one extra accessory he comes with. So I'm thankful for that, and that's why he's still getting a high score. The face looks good, the body looks good. It just didn't wow me for some reason. So that's my review of him. What do you think? Did you get him? Do you want him? Does this not interest you at all? Do you want him after seeing this video? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye. Looks like John Boyega and the hat. Oops. I'm just messing everything up. There we go. The hat was on too tight. And the hat is removable.